Hey everybody, how goes it? How goes it? How goes it? Or hey, hey, hey. Haven't said that for a while. Got my friend's hat on. I lost it when I moved and I found it in a box in storage. I'm so excited. Every week. Every week. I'm telling you. Anyway, the nice part about it is that I didn't do my hair today. Didn't do my hair, didn't do anything. I'm here with you just like you were at home. We're chilling, we're comfy, everybody's happy. I got my coffee in my Dolly Parton mug because who wouldn't want a Dolly Parton mug? Just telling you right now. And my poor little granddaughter, she's having all kinds of problems. Poor little thing. Anyway, I'm telling you, it all happens right at this time. So, Glenn, you didn't make it in first this time. Lisa beat you. Hi, Lisa. How are you tonight? And Glenn is here always. Thank you very much. And April Diggendoshins, how are you? Karen, hello, hello. Ethel, how you doing, girlfriend? How's it going over there? And we have April and Green Mosaic Resale. I like the name of your channel name. Sherry, how are you doing today? She's stuck healing up, sick and tired of being laid low, but got to do it. Let's see. Got Kathy Wiseman. How are you today, Kathy? You're making supper. I made chili, homemade chili, and cornbread muffins. Chrissy, is it spring over there yet? she sent me a picture. I don't think it was you. I don't think you made the snowman, but it was pretty funny. It was a snowman holding a cardboard sign with sunglasses on, and it said some it's not spring, it's the first day of spring or something like that. I don't know. It was hilarious. Busy girl, I think you are new. How are you? Do you have a name you want us to call you other than busy girl? When I say us, some people think I have multiple personalities, but I'm really talking about myself and all of the wonderful people in the chat. You're feeling better. Good, good. Dave is present. Are you in the office with Enoch? Enoch is the picture in Dave's little thumbnail there. That's his buddy Enoch. Hi Maria, how are you doing? Kelly Dibbs is here. Nope, still snowy. Well, it was 65 degrees here a couple of days ago, and I almost got to go out in the yard and work, but look, it's a mess. I have been a listing machine. I haven't written down anything that I listed today, but I've listed at least 10. But yesterday I listed 5, 10, 15, 20, 29 that I wrote down, but that's what I've been doing. This is what I do, you guys. This is how I keep track for myself. I mean, it's what I do. Then I write, I do the little hashtags and I write how much each thing I'm listing for. So I like that tree too. And I was going to get it listed last night. I did not. It will be getting listed today or tomorrow. Hi, Jane. Hi, Michelle. And Jane, how are you? Holy moly, what are you going to do tomorrow, Jane? You're not going to have anything to watch. She usually watches the next day. Uh-oh. Hi, Sue. Can't stay at 70 degrees here. Needs some warmth. Oh, I bet. There's a lot of people that could use some warmth. I love the warmth, not enough to move away from here. In Washington, we get 4 seasons. Four good seasons. We have a little more rain than the rest of you, but anybody that's complaining about rain, I don't know. I don't have a problem with it. Uh-oh, you have the day off tomorrow. Watch out. Busy girl works. Okay. First live chat, but I've been watching your videos. I think, oh, I love Kat. As a matter of fact, I have Kat, a video that Kat did on some linens linked down in the description. Kat the nurse flipper, for those of you who don't know who we're talking about, but I digress because I'm pretty sure that everybody in here knows who Kat is. And trying to sneak in, are you? You know nearly zero about linens. Are you serious? I find that hard to believe. Are you really serious, Mike? Because you're kind of like me. You know enough about a little bit about everything, enough to get into trouble and make money. So if you see behind me, there are so many different kinds of linens in this world. Now those are clothing, right? But the clothing is made out of some form of linen, fabric, whatever you want to call it. And then this is also clothing. This is what you guys would be more inclined to say is a linen, right? These little baby blankets, and we're going to talk about that. But don't discard not purchasing a linen item, aka a fabric dress, a vintage dress, shirt, jacket, shacket, pants, anything that has got a stain or you think is ruined. Oh, I see a new person, ruined. Somebody type that in the chat so I can get back to it. You're in Dallas and can't imagine living in a cold region. I couldn't imagine having to do anything outside in any weather that's over 80 or 90 degrees. But to each their own, right? I mean, the people that live in Arizona and California down closer to the equator, you guys love it, and that's what you're used to, right? Somebody else snuck in. Happy spring to you too, Mary. Enough to get into trouble. Yep. Uh-oh. Well, LaDonna, my friend, how you been, girlfriend? How you been? If you guys aren't following LaDonna Durbin, LaDonna, you're blue, aren't you? Where the heck? LaDonna, drop your Instagram in. Will you please? You guys got to follow her on Instagram. She's amazing. And that's just, you'd rather sweat than freeze. Well, you can put layers on, so I don't ever really freeze, but I mean, I probably look like I'm cold today. It was rainy and yucky outside, and I've been kind of wandering around the house doing stuff. But I didn't want to do my hair. Oh, yes. Peanuts, Garfield, Mickey Mouse, Scooby-Dooby-Doo, any of the older print, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Barney, Teletubbies. I'm stretching my mind here. Any of those older ones. Oh boy. You did your first drop sale tonight. Ooh, how did it go? I hope. Too much humidity in the South. Yep. Hi, Kathleen. Okay. What was the word I asked you guys to type in the chat for me so that I could get back on? We were talking about item that was ruined. Hello, Miss Chicago lady. How are you? Just hailed here in Wendy. Oh my goodness. So a couple of weeks ago, I did a video on buttons. And I told you guys that when you find a piece of clothing that's tortured, cut the buttons off of it. Well, now I'm going to tell you, yeah, cut the buttons off of it, but you may want to keep that piece of tortured. I should have brought, I have about, I got to get my whatnot shows listed. I'm going to start doing 2 a week. That's amazing. Good. But I have a lot of Pendleton, vintage 1940s through the 60s, maybe 70s even, women's suits. And some of them have moth holes in them. They're tiny. They can be repaired. But the thing is, when you find that older wool silk, linen. What's another good one? Wool, silk, linen, even polyester. Isn't that black dress pretty? I'll get my fingers right. I'm going to bring it over here and show you. That dress is polyester, and it's old. And I paid $2 for it. But, and here is why. Oh, by the way, isn't my camera better? I don't know how many of you were still in. Oh man, this is embarrassing, but I gotta fess up. I don't know how many of you guys were still in the chat at the end of the show last week when I realized, because I just got a new computer, right, that there was a piece of film over the camera lens, and I couldn't figure out why everything had this weird haze, and I was like, all right, I got to go into the settings and mess around with the camera, right? Well, apparently, not everybody in this world is smart enough to realize this camera, it's all in one. So the camera, when I'm done, I just put it down back into the computer, which is really nice. Anyway, so you guys ought to be able to see really good today. So this dress is beautiful. It's amazing. I haven't decided if I'm going to list it or sell it on Whatnot. I will probably list it though, because it is vintage. It is Parfait Originals. I'm going to show you this, but check this out. This is all hand. These beads are tiny. Look, you guys can even see. These beads are tiny. See if it'll focus even more. Maybe not, but tiny, tiny, tiny. They're tinier than seed beads. I don't think I've ever seen a bead this tiny. Anyway, I was looking at this dress and I pulled it up. When I saw it, it was stuck. This estate sale had been going for 5 weeks in a row. They stopped for the snow. This place was packed. And I don't even know what more they had in there from when I went in there, but I got this and those other two things and these dresses, these little girls' dresses. They're pageant dresses and they're tiny. And that underslip right there is union made. All right. So I saw the beads on this and I was like, oh, holy moly. It's really a cute dress, but this is polyester. This is like polyester, like grandma's leisure suit polyester. Can you see that? You know, like the wild print polyester stuff that's really hot right now. If you guys don't know that those old polyester suits that grandma, and let's see, if we go back to the time of Partridge Family and that's a story of a lovely lady, the Brady Bunch. I'll get it out. That era and back down, where they had the jackets and the pants made out of the same material, and it was polyester. And I got to find a picture that I have of my baby shower when I was pregnant with my oldest, and my grandma had this outfit on, and I love her to death. She made all of her clothes, but she looked like the ugliest wallpaper in the world. But that was the style back then, right? And she loved that outfit, and I'm so glad I have a picture of her in that because it is amazing. Mr. Roper, the men's, and if you can get the ones that have the wide legs, there's a gal on Instagram. If I can remember, I follow her. I follow all these vintage. So hot to wear, right? So I decided to get this because I thought if somebody doesn't want the dress, they can cut here and they can take this beading out and repurpose it. So when you are, and the main reason I'm talking about repurposing clothing and bringing that into this linen thing is, do you see that? I'll get this. Let's see. That red kimono, satin. You will see all kinds of things, all kinds of clothing pieces that are high end. Did you? You should have seen all of the polyester fabric, yards and yards and bolts of it at this. I had to walk away. It just about killed me. But I knew that she was donating them to a place that was gonna make sure they were taken care of. Otherwise, I was just like, I mean, you don't find that stuff anymore. You have a few yards, Kathy. So when you find items like this, let's see if I can not kill something here. Or like this. It's a what, a bathrobe, a house coat. So what if this was all dirty and gross on the bottom? Do you know that somebody will repurpose this? They may even take this and cut it up and make pillowcases or whatever out of it. Same with the silk on the kimonos. These little dresses. They don't make the laces, the lace and the crinoline. And I don't know if this one has a tag in it. I tried to only get ones that had tags. Some of these dresses can be worth $500, $600, $700. Yes. You didn't miss all the good stuff. Hi, Jeremy. Thank you, LaDonna. So these little dresses will sometimes have an underskirt. If they don't have an underskirt, when I was little, we wore slips. That slip will go under here, and this will make a poofy dress, right? Poofy, very Eastery. I got to get this listed. All of these little laces and these little ribbons and these laces around the bottom. See that little stain right there? I'm not doing anything with this dress. That's very easy to get out. People will buy these and repurpose them and use them in some form of linen, whether it's a dress or whether it's they might buy something like this and make a bridesmaid's ring bearer's pillow, right? Stuff like that. They might do all kinds of things. So down in the description, there is a link for 10 creative ways to use vintage linens. Now, and then pull out your vintage linens. Here's everything you need to know to put them to good use. They're videos. So, and then I also have Kat did a video on linens about a year ago. It's called "If You Aren't Looking for These Linens, You're Missing Thousands in Profit," and it is no joke. Robe worn with your kitten heels. There you go. There you go. Hi, Cindy. If I miss anybody, I'm not doing it on purpose. Oh, almost missed you. Hi, Mia. How are you feeling? Mia just had 2 weeks ago spinal fusion. So she's taking it easy. All right. When most of us think of linen, when most regular people, because we know I'm not regular, we think about kitchen towels, bathroom towels. What's in your linen closet? What's in your linen closet? If you have one, I only have one closet in my house, and it happens to be that one right there. And it's full of ephemera if you want to know what's in it. I can't open the door because there's stuff in front of it. Anyway, just tattling on myself because I have to. Tablecloths. If you use napkins, like my mom uses only fabric napkins, and I would say 100% of them she has made herself. You're feeling better every day. Oh, that's amazing. Good. And actually for years, my mom made all of her tablecloths and they had matching, and my mom's an amazing seamstress. If you guys don't know, she tats, she crochets, she does quilting, teaches quilting. She made all of our clothes when we were little. She makes patterns. She has a long arm quilter. She has several Singer featherweights. She sews most of her own clothes still. She's going to be 80 on the 26th. She made for a year. I have a set of placemats out there that she made when the kids were little, and I still use them every day. So usually when she gives Christmas presents, hey, Todd, how are you doing, buddy? That's what we get, something like that. So Afghan or a quilt, or she made, you name it, whatever she's into at the time, whatever she's working on, you're probably going to get it for Christmas. So tablecloths are going to be in your linen closet, your sheets to your beds, right? Your napkins, any of your kitchen towels, unless you have a drawer in your kitchen. I have a Hoosier, a possum belly Hoosier, and I have one drawer that has all of my kitchen stuff in it. Hot pads are going to be linen. Hankies. I don't think I brought any hankies in. Oh, scarves. Well, your scarves aren't going to be in your linen cabinet. So, let me, because I do. I have lists. Let's just go down my list here so that I don't miss anything. And then we'll start talking about pot holders. Handmade are the best. I agree. So hankies, towels, kitchen and bath towels, doilies, crocheted or not. Battenberg lace makes a lot of stuff. Battenberg lace doilies, tablecloths, napkins, you name it. Runners for your dressers or your tables. Crocheted and tatted items that would go back to doilies and tablecloths and runners and all kinds of things. Sheets, throw blankets, pillows, seat cushions. Lots of people have seat cushions on their chairs to their maybe in their kitchen, or I'm not sitting on a seat cushion, but I am sitting on a pillow. Let's see what else we have here. Let's talk about some of the other ones before I forget. I have several, you guys. It's how it is. If I don't write it down, we won't get to talk about it. Irish linen. Oh my goodness. Aprons. Hi, Julie. Irish linen is one of my favorite things to find, because 9 times out of 10, when you find Irish linen, it's never been used, because people bring it back from England or somebody sends it to them and they never want to use it. And it gets folded up and put in a drawer and they never take it out, and it's still perfectly stiff like it was when they got it. And I have several sets of Irish linen here, and oh my goodness, you guys, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And another reason why a lot of people don't like or use Irish linen is a pain in the butt. You have to iron it. You either iron it or you take it to the cleaners, the dry cleaners, and they will do it for you, right? People don't want to iron. I used to love to iron, and I still do. I'll just put the iron out, and it's kind of like steaming. You can't really steam Irish linen. Can you steam a linen shirt, a pair of linen pants? Sure. True linen, right? This is true linen, and yeah, because this is what it looks like after it's washed. You have to iron it. Can you see the wrinkles? I love this. This is like a table runner. And almost all an exclusive is Schumacher hand print. They never even really did anything with it. I love these colors. I think this would make a cool small top for my curtains, because it's about the right length. And I have enough of it that I could do that. Hi, Mariel. How are you? Okay, so Irish linen goes from this super stiff to this with the first wash. So, but it's highly collectible, and you either, I don't know if this one's marked. Most of these will have a mark on them that literally will tell you they're Irish linen. This one doesn't. And a lot of Irish linen is made in England, believe it or not. Comes from England, I should say. And since we're talking about linen, I'll just show you the few. I only have a few pieces that I brought to show you. So this is when typical what you'll see. Hi, Lynn. How are you feeling? Did you have your surgery? A lot of people having surgeries. How you doing, girlfriend? Iron it or take it to the dry cleaners. We're incompatible. This kind of stuff you guys will see. This is a tea towel, believe it or not. This is to use in your kitchen. Or you could use it as, you could put loops on the back of it. Back here, the little tiny plastic drapery loops. And you could hang it at Christmas time. It's what is it? On the first day of Christmas, my true love sent to me an iron and an ironing board, Mike. But it will say literally right down here. Can you read it? Made in England. I'm trying to see. I can't see when I hold it up here to the camera. So let me get this. Irish linen. Made in Ireland. This one is. These other ones I have over here were made in England. So, never been washed, never been used, never anything, just like they got it. You can find these. I see these at almost every estate sale I go to. And I'll tell you something. Silk comes from Hong Kong, the good stuff. Yep, it sure does. I got this whole set for $2. One thing that people don't buy at estate sales, and I want you guys to pay attention here because I'm going to give you some ideas because you know I always do. These are tablecloths. There's 8 of them. They've never been used, never been washed. Look, one tablecloth. Okay. I bought this whole set for $2. This is the same amount of placemats. So it's a full set. And then this is the table runner. And this is linen, Irish linen. And it is not marked, but that's what it is. So this would be gorgeous on my mid-century modern Hayward Wakefield table that I bought from Sherry. And I love it. If it wasn't covered with stuff I'm taking pictures of currently. Oh, no, I guess I took them off. It's a mess around here, y'all. I'm trying to get things photoed and moved out instead of moved out and have to bring back in photo. I'm not doing it. I helped set up an estate sale. Today was their first day. I did not go. So, oh my goodness. The heavens parted and she's alive. Hello, Miss Lori. How are you? Placemat. Yes. That's where you've gotten all it. If your grandmother got a linen calendar every year, she saved them and used them for dish towels. Yes. Yes. That's what they're for. I mean, you could hang them up and use them. Sorry, my seat cushion's slipping. Normally I stand up, but I've been sitting lately, and I'm telling you, it's gonna have to go back to the standing. Can't stay. You're hurting bad in your eyes. Oh no. All right. Thanks, Cindy. Thanks for popping in. Don't you think so? I agree. All right. You started collecting linens in the 70s. So, you guys and gals and humans with their dogs watching and their kitty cats. Hi, Patty. How are you? The amount of things that people do with these linens is beyond amazing. All you have to do is go type into, let's just do that right now. Let me share, because we know I'm not always good about that. Do this. And vintage linens. Oh, I guess I did that. Hang on a second. I already had that one. I want to do this. Whiten your antique linens. This is from Mid-Century Wasted, with which, if you guys don't follow her, you should. She's amazing. Holy moly. Who let that person on YouTube? How to care for vintage linens. Found a place to shop. How to dress a bed. Designing. Practical gifts upcycled from vintage linens. Repurposing old linens. There's Steph. Unusual, crazy patchwork technique, upcycling a linen tablecloth upcycled. A new use for old sheets. I think, did I put her in there? I didn't. And this is Tam's place. She's a hoot. Nesting Haven. So a lot of these people I know and I follow, but using old linens and quilts. People take vintage linen haul. What sold on eBay? Vintage linens that command high prices. That's picking thrift stores. Let's see. Buttons. Antique lace and linen collection this gal has. And there's shorts here. You can type in here. And you're going to get all these ideas. Making vintage bags. She's recycling doilies. Here's another one that took, I watched part of this. I listened to it. She's making a vintage bag. There's Kat. This video right here is linked down below. Sorry, you guys, I'm not looking. I'll look in a minute because I want you to understand that how to add vintage embroidery pieces to a crazy quilt. A lot of people do not pick up older tea towels and shirts, bed linens, tablecloths, all that stuff, because they have stains on them. So I don't know how many of you guys watched sorry, I got to get stuff out of the way so that I can get to other stuff. The best gifts of all. Watch Jan and I when we talked about quilts. That's what I was getting ready to. Hey, girl, hey. But something that you may or may not know, and I'm going to repeat it, and I'll repeat it and repeat it and repeat it every time I talk on this subject. Oh, girl. Yes, you should. Not just, yes. Go watch Kat's video, Julie. Oh, Jackie, you're supposed to be driving, I heard. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Who was it? Somebody's going to the bins tomorrow. Julie, go watch Kat's video. And if you don't follow Kat and don't watch her, you should. But I'll just run over it real quick. You want to look for comforters, pillows. If the pillows are bad, just unzip and take the cases off. You don't have to buy the whole pillow, right? Tea towels. Add a bistro hook and hang them on a laundry room window. Oh, everywhere. So you want to look for everything. Yep, everything at the bins. And you know, a linen is a hanky, a scarf, which I have a bunch in the other room that some nice person sent me that I was going to bring in here and show you guys. Kat the nurse flipper, I was just showing her just a minute ago down below in my description. And it's Kat, Kat. All right, Jack. All right, girlfriend. Thank you so much. Oh, you hang the linen tea towels on a vintage wooden hanger in your laundry room. Rotate them in and out. There you go. Yes, Kat the nurse flipper. She has a live show every Tuesday night, and she's in Florida. And I believe she does it at the same time on Tuesday nights. You can reuse the stuffing, just reshred it. Absolutely. So people are buying these older linens. Okay, so I got sidetracked. What else is new? Right. Okay, so when Jan and I talked, I think there's several actual, hi Sandra, several actual videos with Jan and I on this Let's Talk About It, about quilts and fabric, because Jan is a master quilter, and I'm just going to call her that whether she wants to be or not. She is amazing. And one thing that you guys need to know is when you buy quilts or you are given a quilt and somebody tells you it is made of vintage fabric, and say you buy a old antique quilt. I have 7 or 8. I'm so bad. I have 7 or 8 of them in storage that I need to get out and get photoed and get them sold. Your quilt, your blanket, your anything that you have pieced together is only considered as old as the newest piece of fabric put on it. So if you get old quilt tops that were never quilted, but they were pieced together by hand, and you go to Joann's and you buy brand new batting, which the batting isn't the deal, isn't a big deal, and you buy a brand new piece of cotton quilt material to put underneath it so that you can take it and edging to go around it so that you can take it and whether you do it yourself or you have a quilter do it, your quilt is now considered not vintage because you put a brand spanking new piece of fabric on it. Now you could put in the description or when you're talking to somebody how the top is all antique vintage. So the quilts that I have, one of them actually has written on it 1908 or something like that. It's really hard to see. So keep that in mind. So there's a reason to pick up a piece like this. There's a big reason to pick up a piece like this. This is needlepoint. It's not counted cross stitch. It's not crewel. This is needlepoint. Anything that is stitched like this in these kind of designs is needlepoint. Crewel will be done in a picture type format. That's not crewel, but crewel will be something like that. And it will either be framed or it will be a whole tapestry, maybe on a pillow or on a little footstool or something, or a bag. And it's usually always done with wool, thread, yarn, whatever you want to call it. You should leave all quilts as found. I agree with you, Kathleen, but there's a lot of people that don't. Crewel, not crewel. And then counted cross stitch is super easy. It's anything that's all X's. That's cross stitch. Now it could be a cross stitch pattern that was already printed, or it could be counted cross stitch, which you are counting in so many to do this many and this many. If you guys have never done it, it can be very therapeutic and it's good for your mind. It's good for your mind to do stuff like that. Let me just tell you. So you have all of those different forms, but you get these older pieces of stuff like this. I bought this. This is, I believe this is linen too. I don't think this one was ever used. I bought these all at the same estate sale. I'm keeping this one because it has chickens on it somewhere. Yeah. I'm keeping this one. This one was maybe used once, maybe twice. This is linen. It's my colors. It's got chickens. A lot of these will have a little stain on it. See that little stain? I could care less. That means it was used at least once or twice, or it'll have a dark stain on the folds from never having been used, but it was put in a closet somewhere. Now, even if it was in a closet, it's going to have those stains from life, from air, from time, from sitting there. Those, I'm having a problem getting this folded back like it was. That's not right. What did I do here? I have a problem, you guys. It has to be back like it was, and it still isn't. This is going to drive me crazy all night, just so you know. This was $5. I saw the chicken on it. I saw it was old. I love the colors. This was $5 also, but somebody, I'm assuming the estate sale people, had taken this and tucked it in there. And what they just did was they just put a piece of the blue tape around it, wrote $5 on it. So I got two for $5, $2.50. A lot of people wouldn't buy this, and I have a feeling that the reason that they put it in there is because there's some stains on it. This is a small one. This isn't big. This would go on your card table for your bridge club or pinochle. That's the size that this one is. That's probably exactly what it was used for when you see these little ones. People love to buy this stuff and make all kinds of things out of it. So when you can pick something like this up for $2.50 and turn around and sell it for $20, $25, $30, you're doing good. This is a bigger one, and this is a good time to sell this one right here because it's flowers and roses. Somewhere on here it might have a name, but it might not. But this is older. It's cotton. People will take this and make a bedspread out of it. They'll make curtains out of it. They'll make napkins out of it, or they'll just use it as a stinking tablecloth, right? You pull out all your finished quilts and check them and out and refold them. Absolutely. Never could keep the count correctly. Perfect. Prefer cruel. My sister has tons of the counted packages plus. Oh man, Jan, did you ever make a post about the Bucilla stockings that you got? Hi, Jody. So when you look in those linen closets and you start pulling out linens and you unfold them and you see that line right on the fold that's a different color, OxyClean's your best friend. If you have a tote, or if you have a laundry sink, which is great, right? If you have a laundry sink, then OxyClean, warm water, and I use Folex, Folex, Folex spray. I will show you guys what it is because I will tell you that I have tried everything else. I got to get my notes back up here where I can see them. Otherwise, we're going to be in problems. This stuff right here. Why is it not showing? Weird. Let's try this again. Hang on. I know what the problem is. Present. Stop screen. Hang on a minute. Bear with me. I set up my share screen wrong. And then I want to do this. There we go. All right. This stuff right here is what I use. I love it. I love it. I love it. Think you're set to only show. Yeah, I think you're right. Isn't Folex a watch? I don't know, Todd. Is it Folex or is it Rolex? Oh, you're hilarious. I love this stuff. It is better than awesome. It is a little more expensive. Buy one of these and then get one of these. But I'll tell you something. I haven't bought this stuff brand new in a long time because if I see it at an estate sale, I nab it. I will spray everything with that and then I will let it sit. And while it's all sitting, then I get my tote in the bathtub, or if you have a laundry sink, because I don't have a laundry sink right now, then I let it soak overnight if it needs to. If you have a washing machine that isn't a front load, if you have a top load, then you could just do the same thing in there, right? You could just fill it up, load it up, let it sit in there overnight with your OxyClean in it. Only found on the streets of New York inside a trench coat. Hand embroidered. To make the roses, the thread is wrapped around the needle. It's called a French knot. Those ones aren't French knots, but yes, those ones aren't French knots. They're French knots are thicker. This is a different stitch. I can't think of what it's called right now, but yes, you are correct. Anyway, so when you walk past those closets that have, I know for a fact around here that almost every piece of best way to photograph those large linens and quilts. Okay. If you have a bedroom with a bed that is available that you can use and you're good at editing your photos, you don't have to have all this stuff in the background, right? If you have a fence outside that you can hang it on, that's great. I will take the pictures of mine probably at storage, and I have these really strong magnetic clips, and I will clip it to that. If you have a nice big open floor space, you can lay them down on the floor space. And if you have none of that, then fold them up nicely, put them in your listing area, take pictures of them, refold them, and do the best job you can to show what you have. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to fit what you have. But you do need to lay them out and measure them, right? Oh, Jody's putting the girls to work. That's a good idea too. Yeah, if you have somebody to hold them, you can do that too. So hopefully that gives you, if you have a couch, you can lay it on the back of the couch, because most people keep quilts on their couches, right? Snuggle up in the quilt. I have 2 quilts in my front room right now. As a matter of fact, Dren is actually wrapped up in one because he's not feeling good. He's poor little guy. So many ways. You just gave me an amazing idea how to backdrop furniture. Oh, there you go. Magnets and linens, 100%. Yep. 100%. You can get the little, they're actually pretty freaking strong at, hang on a second. I'll go grab one. These right here. See these? They come in different sizes. These are pretty strong. I hang these on the side of my refrigerator, and I have my pot holders hanging on them. And then you can put a photo in them, right? Your go-to photo is on the driveway. I have done that many times. If you have a nice, it doesn't even have to be nice, right? If you've got a concrete driveway, because you can edit out the sides or you can leave just a little square. If you have a concrete driveway, you got a deck, even if you have grass and it was mowed or whatever, lay it out flat somewhere. Get on your little step ladder. Take your pictures. If you have a deck that overlooks the lawn and it's not too high up, you can lay it out on the lawn. Yeah, absolutely. There's so many ways. So whatever you have that feels comfortable to you, if you can take the pictures outside in full daylight, I'll just tell you right now that you'll get the best true color, in my opinion. When you're those things are really, they'll work. If you have posters that you take pictures of, those things are perfect. 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom, and you got your poster all done. Hang between 2 trees. You can also do it on a clothesline. When I was at the farm, I would hang them on the chicken fence because I had a really nice chicken fence. I know I did because I built it, but it had 2x12s on the top and 2x12s on the bottom, and then the nice wood posts that both of my boys dug the holes for me when I had cancer. They did it for me for my birthday and Mother's Day because they're all on the same weekend. And I had the nice fencing up, and so I would just literally, I would take magnets, or I would take zip ties. I used something else, and I would hang them there, and it was perfect. Nobody could see anything. You could see a little bit of grass down below. I always did it after I weed eated. No, you live in Ohio, no outside pictures for a little bit. Garage on the floor. It's cold there too. But yeah, quilt shows display them on poles with plant hangers sometimes. Yep, my mom has them hanging on the walls in her house all over the place. You can also safety pin a sleeve on them and run a puller rope through it 100%. N52 is the answer. Forgot the question, but they are the strongest. My magnets can break fingers. Oh, I don't need my fingers broken, but yeah. So, and you can also go to Harbor Freight and get, they're like a triangle, and welders use them. Don't ask me how I know that. I may or may not have been a welding inspector. If the sun is shining, you can take photos. You can. As a matter of fact, I got a bunch of art here this last summer at an estate sale, and I literally put a screw on one of the panels of my brand new fence, and that's where I hung it all. I literally hung it all right there and took pictures of it, and it was beautiful. Bright colors on a snow backdrop could be awesome. Smoking lawnmower too, Todd. Chickens riding, of course. That's right. You guys, chickens are in pictures are perfect. They are. People love chickens. I think people love chickens more than they love cats and dogs, to tell you the honest truth. Okay, so I'm kind of showing you guys maybe a few things and telling you guys this isn't the normal linen show, because I'm not normal, and I don't want to do and show and be the person that everybody else has seen. I want to give you guys ideas as to why you should pick these up. Not only because people want them, but because people want them. Why wouldn't you pick this up? It's just it was at one point in time, and still is, a very inexpensive kitchen towel. Why is it still here? Why is it still soft and in good shape? Because it was Christmas colors, and they brought it out at Christmas time. Whoever did this, it's printed crooked on the whole thing. Can you see? It's driving me nuts. This doesn't have a name, but it was made in the United States. There's very few of these kind of things that are made in the United States anymore. So that will give you an idea that it was probably made in the 90s, maybe the 80s, probably closer to the 80s. It almost feels like Lillian Vernon, but if it was Lillian Vernon, wow, there's 69 people watching. Wow. Thank you guys. So, and people buy these. Listen, you guys, when I was a kid, my mom got these. My bedroom, the colors in my bedroom were these colors with blue and red. And I hated it. My sister picked them out. I hated those colors. I grew to like them. My mother bought, there was 5 of us kids, so she bought 10 of these, all in different colors, and she sewed them up, and she stuffed them with the foam rubber, the loose foam rubber stuffing. And we all got a pillow for Christmas made out of these. And they were great. So there's all kinds of things that you guys, that people will do with these. They do all kinds of things. People will buy these and they will make, for a wedding shower or a baby shower, they will take these and they will make a cake. They'll have somebody make a cake out of them. I don't know if they do that anymore. Kitchen towels end up as burp rags for sure. Justin has a gaseous problem, and sometimes Marie has to burp him. Just kidding. So I'm gonna show you a couple of other pieces of linen that you may not think of, and then we'll talk about some of the more normal stuff. All right. I pick these up every time I see them. Every time. Lots of times they'll be in the fabric room because somebody thinks they're fabric. These are belts. These are belts, and they were never worn. They were bought at what's called Fred Meyer's here. And these are pretty hot right now, actually. But they can be used as a linen piece. They can be used for a crossbody bag, right? If I can figure that out. Crossbody bag. They can be used to trim a towel with. You will see towels that are trimmed and stuff like this. They can be worn as a belt. That's amazing. They never came with a belt loop on them. They weren't intended to be that way, but I will sell it as is because that's how I sell them. I've never seen one this thick, and I managed to get 2 of them. She charged me $1 a piece. Boy, that camera's good. Look at that color. Right? This is linen. It's fabric. It's linen. It's boho. It's retro. Let's go back to last week. I should have been better. Boho, retro, hippie, 70s, 60s, even though this is more, was probably, I'm looking at the tags. I think it was probably Fred Meyer's. This had to have been when I was in, this was 80s. This was sold in the 80s. I'm just looking at the tag. Fred Meyer's is Kroger's, if you guys have Kroger's in your area. But they have everything, right? People love these things. A guitar strap, right? You would see a lot of stuff made out of this kind of guitar straps, belts, put around the bottom of your pants, put around the bottom of your dress, put around your prairie skirt. That's funny because prairie skirts were very popular in the 80s. The 3-tiered prairie skirts, that one's Memphis design as well. Without the film on the lens, right? Yeah, I already told on myself on that one. So linens, right? However you want to sell these, if you just pick these up, now a lot of people would think that these were trim for sewing, right? Because you can buy this by the yard, but it won't have this fringe on the end of it. So if you see it and it's fringed on both ends, it was specifically made that way. If you see it and it's got a little bit of fringe on both ends, it was cut. It was a yardage piece, but a lot of that stuff's worth money too, right? All of the old trims and accessories, which are also linen. Any of the eyelet laces in these dresses, any of these laces, all of that is some form of linen that will be used in some form of linen. People buy these dresses and they make pillows out of them, or they take them apart and they add them to dresses, or if they're in great condition like these. I went through all the dresses there. I wish I'd have bought more. There's an outfit here you guys can't see. It is very difficult to find little boy linens, old linens. Look at this, you guys. It's their overalls, and it's got the little hat with it. They didn't make a lot. They didn't make 12 million little boy linens, clothings like that. People will take those and they'll remake them, or they'll take them and they'll make a pillow. They'll make a stuffed animal, And while they're making that stuffed animal, they're going to take your lace doily and they're going to cut your lace doily up. If you can see lace doilies that have holes in them because they were either chewed on by a rodent or they were just used and loved and somebody didn't know how to fix them, if they're a big piece, would look great on a jean purse. Yes, it would. If it's a big tablecloth that somebody hand crocheted and it's got a hole in it, oh my goodness, buy that thing. Somebody will buy it and they will repurpose it. They might even cut pieces out and starch them to use them to hang on Christmas trees or to sew to the bottom of a drape or to sew around the edges of a duvet cover or a dust ruffle. It's amazing the stuff that people do. So if you guys are just thinking normal every day, why would somebody want this? I mean, I have these they're just white linen curtains, right? Do you know how many things I could do to those white linen curtains and just they would never look the same just by using an old piece of linen, a tablecloth? Or how many of you guys picked this up? This is batik material, but it's got a print on it. These are worth some pretty good money. People get these, they're given them, and they have no idea what to do with them. None. So what do they do with them? This has still got a waxy feel from when they did the print. And in the linen closet it goes. Boys' clothing was handmade. Yes, it was. All right. I'm going to talk about one other linen that you guys may know about and you may not know about, depending on who you listen to and what you do. And it's vintage baby blankets, sheets, all that stuff. How many of you guys are familiar with, let me look it up here. Oops. I know I'm not sharing. I will in just a second. Okay. How many of you guys are familiar with the Baby Morgan blankets? This is just a plain waffle weave one. And let's see if she showed. I see the tag. Baby Morgan, this one says on it. This is a newer one. $50 and she will get it. Let's see. Let me go down here. Baby blanket satin edge. Can you see what I was looking at? I got a bunch of those for $1. Let's go back here. Oops. Is that what this is? See if this comes up like this. All right. Now they're just going to do, because I put Fisher Price in. Let's take that out. I spelled baby wrong because you know I would. Here we go. This is the one that I've sold many times over right here. I guess it's not Fisher Price. Vintage Regal teddy bear. See that little teddy bear? And that's a cotton material. If you guys aren't familiar with these blankets, these little baby blankets with the satin binding, and not even the baby blankets, the big ones come, you're a vintage baby. That does not surprise me, Todd. You found two that had names written on them in Sharpie, and they still sold for $40 each. If it's Baby Morgan, don't leave it behind, even if it's damaged. 100%. So I'm going to show you something I'm super mad at myself about. You didn't tell me about this. You're in so much trouble. You didn't send me pictures. Chrissy bought a giant Rubbermaid tote last week with 3 flour sack quilts, 2 chenille bedspreads, and a pile of baby Morgan blankets. You go, girl. She lives in Burns, Oregon, and there's nobody out there that I shouldn't say there's nobody. She has very little competition. If you guys aren't following Chrissy, put your Instagram and your Facebook up there. Put the link in, will you please, my friend? And you would be amazed. She found, how many of them do you have left? The Holt Howards. She found the mother load of Holt Howard. I wanted to cry. Teddy bears. Yes, it does. You go to your Instagram and then you hit share and copy the link and come back and put it in. 0. You have 0 of them left. You're horrible. She had so much, but if you go on her Instagram, I don't know if you can go. Did you post those on your Instagram? I don't know, but she does post a lot of stuff. Anyway, Sherry, who's listening, and I went to an estate sale a while back, and it was in Battleground, and there was a house, the garage, and a barn, and we started in the house, and let's see if I can find this. In the house, on the couch, in the sunken living room, all the way in the far, far back corner, was a garbage bag, because that's where we all stored them, and I kid you not, because that's where I did, that had the comforter, the bumper, the crib bumper, which if you guys don't know, you can't sell crib bumpers. They're considered a choking hazard. So if you, and this is what I'm mad at myself about. I did not buy the crib bumper. I left it behind, and I should have, because I could have sold the material. I could have cut the ties off that made it a crib bumper, and I could have sold it as is. Off to feed the cows. All right, try to stay warm. So what I found was this vintage Fisher Price 80s baby puffalump baby blanket quilt, and it's right here. I got the quilt. I didn't even realize that it was puffalumps, to tell you the honest truth. But I saw on the, I knew that it was older from the colors, and I knew that it was Fisher Price because I got the sheet too. And then for crib sheets, they only did ones. All right, 100% cotton. They don't even look like they were ever used, but you can 100% tell on the sheet. Oh, now it's upside down. I'm trying to find it. That those are puffalumps. And if you guys don't know that Fisher Price puffalumps are worth a lot of money, the puffalump plush themselves, then now you do. Because there you go. I don't know why it does this. I guess that's not bad. They are made out of a parachute type fabric, right? And when you see these, even if they're not Fisher Price puffalumps, you'll see them in the Christmas form. All of these ones that you're seeing are puffalumps. Some of these can go for some big, big money. I don't think this is a puffalump. I don't remember. Let's see if they have a tag. We're going to find out. We're going to find out here in just a minute. Yep, it is. Puffalump. Huh. When you see these, oh, that's a giveaway right there too. I believe that most of the Puffalumps have some form of yarn on their head. See that? That'll be a dead giveaway. So let's go up here. I'm just going to show you this real quick. This is your freebie. This is your freebie for the week. There you go. Puffalumps. If you guys didn't know, then you know now. Fisher Price Puffalumps. Even the little ones sell. So it's too bad I don't have this one right here. Is one of the ones that's on my my quilt. All right, so I bought the quilt. They had the quilt. They had the sheet. They had the bumper. I left the bumper there. I could just smack myself right now. You can't. I'm trying to remember how long ago it was. If you go to buy a set now, you will not see the crib bumper at all. Might have been when Dren's 9. So it's been sometime in the last 9 years because I don't remember it being a problem when he was little. I wouldn't have bought one anyway. I would have made his stuff. Because yes, I did sew quite frequently, as a matter of fact. When I have a Christmas mouse Puffalump listed, just list it and forget it. Okay, just leave it. Don't change your price on it. Leave it alone. Don't make sure your title's good. Send me a link to my Instagram if you're on Instagram. And if not, find me on Facebook. Send me a link and we'll see. But just leave it alone. It'll sell. That's something that you don't need to worry about. There's certain things that you just need to not touch. They'll sell. Oh, right. And there was another. Poor Sherry. The two of us, we had such huge old piles, and everywhere we went, there was another one. Yep. Just leave it. It'll sell. I promise you. I promise you it'll sell. So when you are at grandma's estate sale, guaranteed grandma had a room that the grandkids came and stayed in. It's funny to me. I heard a lady say, "Oh, it's so odd to see toys at an estate sale." Why is it odd to see toys at an estate sale? Those people, more than likely, if they didn't have kids of their own, they had nieces and nephews, and they had kids in their house at some point in time. Google says May 16, 2022. Thank you. I knew. Oh, wow. It was that or federally banned. Okay. So if you guys didn't know that, you know it now. Don't say crib bumper. Don't make it look like a crib bumper. If you're going to find this set up here or any other set that came with a crib bumper, let's see. I doubt very much that they would even, I wouldn't list one just because 3 times baby safe crib pads, rail, bed cover protection, crib bumper. Boy, I wouldn't put bumper in. Well, here's a vintage. Nope. 4-piece secure me. So they have 10. These are like hard plastic with cloth over it. This is nothing like, like the vintage crib bumpers that we had. So, let's see. Let's see if they okay. I don't know that I would do this. Look here's Care Bears. This one's amazing. It's the vinyl, right? So be careful. Be careful because If you get, if that's why right there, see, little Susie, sorry. Little Susie, whose head will fit through there and shouldn't, is going to get wrapped up in there. That's a freaking cool crib. As a matter of fact, I had one of those for my kids. Yep, it's a portable crib. As a matter of fact, those are really cool. We kept one of those. We kept one of those downstairs at the farm. Right? I'm with you there 100% because my mom has all the cool toys that were my kids and that were ours. And as my grandkid, my oldest granddaughter, only have 2 grandkids. My granddaughter just turned 16. And when she got done with her toys, she was done with her toys. And my mother had a bunch of boy toys. Wrong one. My mom had a bunch of boy toys because I had boys, and most of the toys that she had were theirs and some of ours. But so when Emily got done with her toys, we took them all down to I took a bunch of them. I took the nice ones and took them down to my mom's house because I have tons and tons of nieces and great nieces and nephews. So my mom's got all the cool toys for sure. Yep. First thing. So don't list the crib bumpers would be my suggestion. And if you do list it, you choose your words carefully, right? Vintage, Fisher Price, crib set, puffalumps, whatever, if you're going to list that bumper. Because they are considered a safety hazard now. All right, so Baby Morgan baby blankets, just vintage. This one right here, I've sold this one. This is also Baby Morgan. This would have come as a set. Oops, sorry. This would have come as a set with the one with the teddy bears. Here's the one with the teddy bears with the satin. And then they have the Carter's ones too. Here's another print that you'll see. This was popular when I'm trying to think. This was popular when Justin was little because I made his diapers. My kids wore cloth diapers. I made his diapers out of that specific print. So it's not just satin edged baby blankets, if you guys didn't know that, right? Since we're doing linens. Here you go. 55, 65. And if you can get a wool one, you're even better. I have several listed, and I don't see any of mine come up, but that's all right. Sometimes you will find them. This one right here, these right here are amazing, and they will, if you find these, even if they're ratty, look at this. It's ratty. It doesn't matter. People see it needs to be shaved. Somebody will buy that, and they will spend some money on it. I would buy this one. I would buy this one in a hot second. I love the colors. So satin edged blankets and satin edged waffle weave acrylic. All of these old cotton blankets, people love this stuff. It is, I don't know what it is about these. Right? Horse blankets. Yep. Horse blankets. A blanket to put on the dog bed, or a blanket to put on the couch so that the dog can get up on the couch, whatever. What if the wool has tiny holes? Doesn't matter. Somebody's we haven't gotten to the wool yet. You have 2 satin edge wool blankets. They can be darned, as in repaired, or am I still showing that? I can't type. I can't talk and type. Tear Aid Fabric Repair. This stuff right here, it's basically like a fusible oh, why can't I think of what it's called? Fusible under it's somebody put the word I'm trying to say. Fusible. Oh, why isn't it not there? How to mend holes in knitted fabric, how to mend holes in wool. Look at what this person did. They did a counted cross stitch over the holes, but it's a fusible backing and you can iron it on. Here's patches that you can buy to fix on your elbows and stuff like that. You can just darn it with a needle. There's plenty of wool, moth mending, water soluble, visible mending, embroidery transfers. Here's another bonding fabric repair. This is a powder. This is a mending kit. Fusible webbing. Thank you. Interfacing. That's the word I was looking for. Which is the same thing as fusible webbing. And you put that on the back and then you can do all of these cool little things. And or you can oh man, I need to go upstairs and grab something. You can felt the wool. People will buy the wool to felt it. And let me just this right here. Hang on a second. I hid them from myself. Sorry about that, you guys. Hopefully you had nice conversations with yourselves. All right. So I get this question, ran up the stairs. Couldn't remember exactly where I said them, but I saw them this morning. So I used to do this all the time with my mom and my sister. And this is one of the things that I went to the Goodwill bins and I would be on the hunt for all the time. But I bought these two particular sweaters I'm going to show you from Courtney, Bolo Buddies, on one of her first whatnots. Well, it might have been her second whatnot. And I think that she couldn't believe that I was going to do to him what I did to him. But any of you guys, for the love of God, no, I didn't. Well, I kind of ran down him, but then I thought if I fell, you guys would all hear it. Shows how to felt wool and make, yes, she does needle felting when she makes the animals out of it, probably. That's amazing. Yeah, I know you guys are learning stuff about me that you probably didn't know, but that's all right. I know more than I let on, and that's scary because I know way more than I should know. So it was a pretty big fad in trying to think Dren is 9. His mom died when she was 4, and we did a bunch of Christmas stockings. I think before he was born, she was pregnant with him, but so 2013 is when he was born. So in the late 90s, early 2000s, and still to this day, it's huge. It's been huge for a while. I'm just saying how far back I went. So you can use your front load washer. This is a Byford, London, New York, hand knit, 100% wool, made in China. This medium, this was a men's Christmas sweater. Men's. It fit me. When it came here, it fit me. And I washed this in my front load washer on sanitize, because that's the hottest water you're going to get. And I took it out and I hung it dry. Now, I am going to make a bag. I could make Christmas stockings. You just lay this out and you cut it. You can cut the sleeves off and open them up on the seams, and you can make all kinds of stuff. This one, same style, is an Eddie Bauer, 100% wool. Lane, made in China. This one didn't bother me so much, but same thing here. Christmas stocking, you can even, because it's funny, they're the same print. I could take a piece of this one, and I could take a piece of this one, and I could make Christmas stockings. I could make a bag, a purse. I could cut these and do a blanket stitch on the edges of them and make hot pads out of them. It's endless. It's endless, the things that you can do. So if you have a piece of clothing that has a hole in it, you can either mend it, or you can felt it, or you can sell it. See here, now they're showing you how to make felt. You can felt. That is really super stiff and it's thick. And see here, how to felt wool sweaters for craft projects. Look at that one. So then they'll take these wool sweaters that they felted, and they'll do all of this kind of stuff. What else? Look at this. These pieces on this one were either hand done. These were hand done. They weren't cut. These were hand done. And see how they take these pieces of wool roving, and they use a special needle. It's called a felting needle. And if you want to learn about all of that, but that's not what we're talking about today, right? Because I'll get off. Here's a little animal like what she was talking about. This is hand felted. And they take, anyway, if you want to learn about that, go ahead. But here is a bag that somebody did out of probably a sweater, like one of those sweaters. They felted the sweater. They felted a blanket. They felted a old Pendleton suit or an old wool suit that they bought at a estate sale, the bins, wherever. Here you go. Here's another one. How to felt old wool sweaters, and the amount of make it with a wool sweater. All of these things. Look at. They made all of these mittens. They made all of this stuff. I am focusing. Thank you. So if you have a piece of wool clothing that has a hole in it, don't get rid of it. If you don't want to fix it. And another thing I will say too is I hear a lot of people that do know this say, well, I'll just mark it down considerably because it has damage. No. It's doing stuff like that brings the value down on all of this vintage stuff. People consistently are doing that. I listed 9 Christmas ornaments 2 days ago. I bought this big box of Christmas ornaments. It had Lenox. It had all kinds of stuff in it. And these little ones, they looked like nothing. I paid 25 cents a piece for them. And they've been in my storage. Marie's moved them like 3 times. Just telling you. I brought the box home, so I was like, I can list these super quick. These ornaments were made by a guy who died quite a while ago. And he was very well sought after. He also did figurines. He did paintings and stuff like that. And I did my research. There were hardly any of these particular style ornaments out there. And the ones that were out there, people had sold for the most expensive one was 24 bucks. I listed them for $49.99 each, knowing they were going to hit my sale and be $39.99 each. And I put all the information about him in my description. I only had to do it once because then I just made 9 copies of that. If you're not doing yourself justice enough to spend a little bit of time to do some research and put that in the description so that the people who are buying from you know what you have and they know that you know what you have, then you are hurting yourself and you're hurting everybody else in the market, in my personal opinion. You're challenged when it comes to comping linens that have no branding. How would one price a king-size satin-edged wool blanket? A king-size satin-edged wool blanket I wouldn't sell for less than $130, period. Unbranded, blue, king-size wool, satin-edged blanket, vintage, measurements. Me too, my friend. Does that make sense? Because you could just go, let's share this. Well, let's do this. We talked about, I've changed a lot of titles here recently, and I have made myself start titling things differently since in the last 2 weeks. However, I still find that I search with the word vintage. I'm a reseller. I'm going to search with that word vintage. But most of the people selling aren't buying aren't necessarily going to put vintage in. Hi, Lindsay. How are you? So let's just put it in there because that's how it doesn't matter if it's in the title, the first word or not. If it's in the title or if it's in the description, it's going to come up, right? So let's just write satin edged wool blanket king size. There you go. This one right here. And you have to be careful because not all of them are wool. Some of them will be mid-century. Here you go. Mid-century pink wool satin edged blanket, 90 by 72. Does that help you? Good night, Mia. Thank you for popping in and hanging out with us. See all of these blankets? You got to be careful too, because this one right here got washed in some cold water. And how can I tell that? Is this showing up very well? It's on the verge of being considered felted. What did I just do? I thought I had pulled that up. Where did it go? Of course. When you see these blankets that are wool that somebody, well, here's one right here. Maybe not. That's mohair. All right. Where did that other one go? Maybe it was this one. This blanket right here was washed at home, washed and dried at home. And I can tell you that because it's already starting to felt. If you, yes, you will find the polyester ones too, and they go for good money as well. If you find a blanket like this, or if you happen to wash a blanket, You can wash wool at home and not felt it. You just need to wash it on very, very cold water and not put it in your dryer. It needs to air dry. You can absolutely. I wash wool all the time, blankets and stuff like this. This did not get washed in cold water, and it may very well have been put in the dryer. However, they may have stopped it before it got in the dryer. But you can see, because of the way it's rippling here, it's already probably not the size it should be anymore. It got washed in a warm water. And then this blanket right here, you could sell it as is. In the title, I would add either in the title or in the condition, in fair vintage condition with just one small hole along the edge, some light stains, may have been felted. What? I don't think it was felted all the way, but it's on its way there, right? So somewhere in there, hey girl, hey, especially if they have made reproduction, would you say? It depends on the item and collectors. If I don't put vintage in when searching strawberry shortcake, I get double the results. So you would add that on in certain items for sure. I'll put it in the title, but I don't do it as the first word anymore at all. Because I want vintage to be in my title. I just don't want it to be one of the first 5 words. And it may be the 5th or 6th word, depending on how it fits in my title. But it's usually the last word, because it doesn't really, you don't have to make a sentence out of your title, right? Even though some of us who think we need to try to. So this right here, to a vintage wool quilter finding wool, they will buy this. They will take the satin off the edge. They will literally, because there's wool underneath here. Under this, let's see here. You can definitely tell. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful piece of wool. This area underneath this binding also has wool all the way to the very edge of it. So they will take their little seam rippers and they will take all this satin binding off, and they will take this whole piece and they'll either felt it all the way down, or they'll cut it up and they'll card it and they'll remake it into new wool. I don't know where that came from, if that makes sense. So linen, wool will get you a lot of places as far as linen goes. I just really can't tell you. Feels so wrong to not make it a sentence. I'm guilty there. It's like I'll be sitting there and I'll be like, oh my goodness, no, that just doesn't flow. It doesn't matter. I was fighting with myself on the stupid title today, and I was like, it's good. It doesn't have to. I literally quit looking at the screen and did what I needed to do to list it. Oh my goodness. Isn't that's an amazing color. And the colors just don't seem to be the same in the newer wools. My aunt had a cedar chest full of vintage Pendleton wool. And then some of the wool had come from, I want to say it was Korea. It might have been Japan, that her uncle brought back. Now, this was an adopted aunt. And she gave me all that wool, and I sold it for a lot of money. It had never been used. It had never had anything done to it. It had gone straight into the cedar chest and sat there for almost 50 years. And it was amazing. It looked like it had just been made. All right. Let's look at some of the normal stuff. Just so that we have an idea here of some of the other things that I haven't talked about. So I'm going to come here because She's got a lot of stuff here in this picture. This lace right here is called Battenberg lace. As a matter of fact, pretty much all of this, that is a form of Battenberg lace. My vintage obsession, spot the imposter. I thought I'd start this post with a pop quiz. Can you tell which towel in this photo is not vintage linen, but in fact modern? The imposter will be revealed at the end of the post. Which one do you guys think it is? Oh, I love these. If you guys, these cotton, sorry, we'll go to the end of the post here in a minute. Y'all shown, thank you. I toured the Pendleton mill years ago and got random. Well, I live not far from the Pendleton mills here in there's one in Camas, not far in Camas, Washougal area. Plus, I have a really good friend whose mother worked there, and they have tons of little pieces of it. These cotton printed older 50s, 1960s, 50s tablecloths are amazing. Let's see, how far do we have to go down to find what her answer is? Look at all these linens. Here's an old quilt. It's riddled with small tears and patches. She doesn't care. These little doilies people use for all kinds of things. All right. So did you guess the imposter? If you guess the white towel with the green embroidery on the right, good eyes. It's from Target. This one right here. That's kind of the one that I thought it was, just because it's just the fabric itself. I know you guys can't see it as well as I can. I don't know if I can make it bigger. There you go. Does that help? There. This one right here is the imposter. The actual material itself is just in too good a condition for it to not be. And this is all machine done. Very, very easy to tell it's machine for me. Let me put that out there. For me. Very easy to tell. Your screen can't get any smaller. Uh-oh. Well, there you go. Hopefully that helped you. So, let's go back to, there we go. All right. And what am I doing here? I don't know. Vintage linens. All right. Battenberg lace. That's what this white stuff is. And it is lots of times done on, this is linen. I can tell myself that that's linen. This is not linen. This is what Battenberg lace can be very expensive. They have tablecloths, curtains, shower curtains, dresses, wedding dresses, valances, collars, duvet covers by the yard. Let's look at Battenberg lace linens. Let's just vintage. Let's just see what we got here. Anytime you see something like this that has just that little corner on it, Battenberg lace can go for some really good money. Here is a round, and it's not very big, I don't think. This is a round tablecloth. That's not the greatest picture. What does she say? She's got here 52 inches. So it's less than 5 feet, right? 5 feet, 60 inches. That's beautiful. Somebody might buy that and put it on a duvet cover and have it for their bedspread. Here's another. A lot of people wouldn't realize that these are all forms of Battenberg lace. Here's a runner, and you'll see a lot of these. I should just do this so that you guys can just see this. You don't need to see me. You can hear me, right? That way you can get a better look at it, because this, if you don't know, then you don't know. And this is something that is, you just have to look it up and look it up and look it up and get some pieces of it and feel it. But Battenberg lace can go for a lot of money, especially when you have something like this. Who was it that asked about putting your taking pictures of quilts and stuff? You can also take them on your dining room table. They put this outside on their picnic table, it looks like, right? They apparently have quite a few pieces because that's the same table. So Battenberg lace, that's just gorgeous. What are they selling it for? $46.29. It's very, very airy and almost always will have some form of white cotton or linen fabric somehow. My screen can't, I'm not sure, but I don't think it works on a video. Oh, that's a bummer. Are you teasing me? I just now saw you come in. Did you just come in, Ty? I mean, now I have to go look. So Battenberg lace is something to look for. And I'll tell you what, if you find Battenberg lace in a estate sale, if you find one piece, you're going to find a bunch of it because they liked it. And that's did earlier for the full suspend a feature for what did I do? Just take getting used to and turn your phone sideways if you normally hold it up. Yeah, don't always be holding your phone like this when you're watching lives. You should switch them around because it'll screw your screen up. You'll get a shadow eventually. Don't ask me how I know that. All right, so Battenberg lace, vintage linens, and I'll tell you what, I have been to many estate sales where I have bought that Battenberg lace that was still in the plastic it came in because people don't know what to do with it. It's almost sad, to tell you the honest truth. Let's go out of here. If you look at this piece right here, see if I can get it to pull up. Visit. It doesn't really look like they're like the other ones, but you will see that this solid piece, right here is cloth. It's going to be cotton. They actually have this upside down, I think, in this picture. It's not. Oh, might help if I so all of this solids, it's very complicated to make. And pieces like this, look, now you can really see it. See the cloth in there? And that is actually, I'm looking, it's horrible. I wonder if that'll work. I was hoping that would make it bigger, but it's not. Battenberg lace table runner, white lace table scarf. These stains right here, nobody cares. They're actually fairly easy to get out. And if you cannot get the stains out, you can coffee or tea stain the whole piece and make it all the same. I will put a mixture of bleach, 1 part bleach to the rest of it. I have some spray bottles, and I will put like a 1/4 cup bleach and the rest of it full of water, and I will spray those and I will put them outside. You can also use lemon. You can also use ammonia. You can get these out if you want to, or you can just leave them alone and let somebody else do it. But I certainly would not personally change my price on this item right here because it has a few stains on it. because there's nothing else wrong with it. So just because if we do this, hang on, I'm trying to, wonder why it won't do that. Must only be if it's people, I guess. So I can do this. Just because this piece has a stain on it, there would be no reason for me to try to get a lesser price out of it. I think that's going a little bit too far. So watch yourself when you're pricing these things. Watch yourself when you're buying these things. 9 times out of 10, you're going to pick something up like this at an estate sale, even a yard sale, for pennies, because it's got a stain on it, because it's not ironed, because they just want it gone. Somebody gave it to him. Look at the back for hand or machine stitching, 100%. You dislike the polyester fake lace? I don't like it either. But there are enough people who, let's do that, and let's do that. There are enough people who do like it that, there's no reason. All right. Now, we talked about this, and I'm going to talk about it again real quick here, because I want you guys to understand that it can be some good money. This is Irish linen. These are just hankies, and they're tiny. The Irish linen hankies, they're truly a hanky that the women would, or men would, keep in their pocket, right? Irish linen can go for some good money. Here's, somebody had this. It was given to him. Vintage 1970s. Aranor, Irish linen, rose pattern, tablecloth and napkins, unused. Go figure. Let's see if we can get a better. That's the brand picture, Aranor. It even has all the stuff made in Ireland. All right. You're going to find house. This is a pretty, this brand, House of Clodagh. I can never say it right. Clodagh, Irish collections. You'll see these all the time. This is for a set of 2 green shamrock embroidered placemats. All of these, look at how tiny these are. Irish linen, white shamrock. Obviously, here is some placemats and napkins. So, and then you have the clothing, right? We all know about linen clothing. Linen clothing is one of the best things to wear in environments where it's humid and warm, because linen linen is very flowy. It hangs, it drapes, it absorbs moisture, and it keeps you comfortable. So all of these things, and this is why a lot of people don't want the Irish linen, because if you're not gonna take care of it, that's what you get. 34.16, good for her. That's what you get. Irish linen has to be taken care of, or linen, period, right? Linen, you can have linen in anything, all kinds of different things. I love linen personally, so and I really don't think it gets talked about enough. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about it. Somebody picked me up off the floor. Oh yeah, right. If you lay it on the grass for some reason, it didn't know that. Good tip. Learn something new every day. Anyway, 2 things that I don't think a lot of people think about or talk about enough which we don't need to have them because then more people will be picking them up, right? Is Battenberg lace and Irish linen. Linen, period. And then if I didn't just give you guys some ideas that you didn't already have on wool and the things that people will do with it. So just because this right here, I could take this sweater and I could cut it out and I could sew myself up a hat. That's one of the worst things for me to see is wool that has been gotten rid of. Because even if it's dirty and gross and you can't get it back to its original condition, you can wash it and you can felt it and it can be used for something else. Wool is an amazing fabric. It's an amazing reusable, recyclable fabric for so many things. All right, let's go back here and let's see. What do I got here that I wanted to really talk about? Napkins or Irish linen. Okay. Should have brought flour sack towels. I pick these up every time I see them, every time. These ones are printed. So somebody is printing these. They're kind of cool. 50s inspired flour sack. So when I think, ooh, I like these ones. Squirrel. Let's get out of here. When I think of flour sack towels, these are what I think of right here. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. $34.99. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She's missing one. All right, so that's okay. Look at that. Who cares? I have a whole drawer full of these. I love these. Do you know what these are best for? If you have allergies or you got a runny nose, these things are the bomb diggity for a hanky. Dren's favorite thing. He's got one right now. Use it. Throw it in the wash. Here's another set. I sold a set of these for $80 some here not too long ago. Depending, my son's streaming in the other room, so this is for one. I love the flour sack towels, hand embroidery, birds and bunnies flour sack, $29. People are selling them for too cheap, in my personal opinion. $12.99. Somebody stop me. Flour sack towels are a thing. People love them. They've always loved them. And probably if you go to an estate sale where you see a bunch of these, they probably have a knitting sewing room and they probably have the little transfers that you would have ironed on to the flour sack towels so that you could make these. And those sell as well too. Snot towels, you know it. You know it. Friend gave flour sack towels as swag. Oh, that's a good idea. How you have the daily patterns with the kittens? I love them. I just love them. And there's so many different designs to get that. Knocked myself out. That's what I did. Yep. I pick those up almost every time I see them, whether I sell them. Yep. Because I clicked to go back to the next screen. Now I got to set up my reset. I want this one. All right. That's what I want. There we go. Okay. So flour sack towels. And then you have Oh, I just listed some of these. We actually had these when I was a kid, this exact set. And I feel like we had these ones too. You guys see these? They sell for crazy money. I actually have this one right here. And no, you can't have it. It's mine. I love these. If I could only have vintage towels, I would only have vintage towels. I was trying to see if mine would show up here because I didn't put a particular name in. Mine are like these right here. These vintage towels you will see, and they will be Lillian Vernon. They will be J.C. Penney's. They will be Sears. They will be all of the old goodness. But people love these old towels, and the funkier, the cooler, right? I have one that I use. I have it in my kitchen because it's a towel. It's a bath towel. These are cool. I just want you guys to look at the prices. These are thin. They're super thin. They're like this towel that I showed you. They're not anything exciting. They're super thin. They're not super soft. They can be made super soft if you use enough fabric softener, I guess. But 45. Jody, I don't know if Jody's still in here. Jody picks this stuff up and the sheets all the time. Jody Toy Addict. I'll make sure and put her in the description again. Not the same, but branded bar towels. Big time. Yes. Look at this. And when you're talking branded, you could go here's vintage. We can do this. This isn't a big brand, but this is a brand that people do look for. Canon, right? They love these. I love these. If I found these, they would be mine, and I would keep them because I love the colors. This one right here is very similar to what I just listed, a set of 6 of those colors. Mine weren't Canon, though, so they're not going to come up under this. I can't even remember the brand name they were. You can go vintage. Somebody dropped some names. Most of your towels you've had for 45 years. Why not? $55 for a used towel you got. Oh, man. Hang on. I'd pull it up over here, and then I will then we'll come over here because I can. Somebody else is trying to get it too, but that's not hers. But look at these. These are great. How can you not love this stuff? I need help. Hello. I just typed that whole freaking thing in there. There we go. Why isn't you? There it is. There's Jody's right there. You guys know you don't have to click on this see original listing. You can just click on the photo. I thought I'd share that with you. $55. That's beautiful. And let's see. Is that your mom or your sister holding it up? Field Crest. That's right. That's a beautiful towel. Really, Jody, I would have bought that from you. Look at those colors. All right. So we can, yeah. Fieldcrest has towels. They have sheets. They have blankets. Most of these old brands like this. Oh my God, I love this. Oh my God, I love that. So I'll hang on a second. Somebody's dying out there. $54.95, one bid. Sculpted. That is a keyword, sculpted. See how it has the flowers in here that are sculpted? Look at this, is just a nothing exciting, just yellow. $17. I love Fieldcrest. I have several of them. So then you can go vintage. Let's just go out. I'm going to blow your mind, maybe. We'll see. Martha Stewart has a lot of linens. These are not solds. And there is pretty much nothing Martha Stewart. Hi, Carol. You're so welcome. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody else. You absolutely do. Got 2 swim towels, swim size towels. Oh my goodness. Martex and Spring Made. Yes. So Martha Stewart has so many different kinds of linens that it's not even funny. And you know what I should just do is go vintage Martha Stewart. All right. Martha Stewart by mail, purple toile print tablecloth, Italy, rectangular. Look at that. So not a sentence, but look at that, $90. Martha Stewart Battenberg lace. Kitchen towels. Here is reversible placemats. All of it. Table runners, all of that. Tassels. So, and magazines. Martha Stewart also has, we could do Martha Stewart bed sheets. 85, 35, 59, 39, more lace, eyelet lace accents. And you can do Martha Stewart. Just keep your eyes open. Late to the party again. That's all right. You can do curtains. Quaintons for you. Vintage 1990s Martha Stewart curtains valances set. Something you guys should know about curtains, and especially vintage curtains. And if you go into a estate sale and they have all these amazing curtains hanging up, ask them if you can buy them. You don't want them for the curtains. Well, you may. You can sell them as curtains. That's what they are. But I'll tell you right now that people will buy them for the fabric like crazy. And 9 times out of 10, they will sell you the curtains. They'll let you know. And if they say, no, they're attached to the house, we can't sell them, you can say, can you call the owner and see if they're wanting to get rid of the curtains? And if they decide that they're not selling the curtains, then I would find out right then and there who the real estate agent is that's listing the house, because you will get those curtains if you want them and they're not selling them. Because I can guarantee you whoever it is that buys that place is not going to keep them. Anyway, that's just a little side note. So Martha Stewart, and then I don't know because I've never paid any attention, and I'm just showing you guys some low end yet high end things that you may see. I don't know if the Pioneer Woman, oh, holy moly, I guess she does. Shows you what I knew. Pioneer Woman is very collectible in all of her stuff. So there you go. Oh, I have that same one listed. Well, my. So, Squirrel, Pioneer Woman linens. Well, none of her stuff would be vintage, so it doesn't really matter too much, but placemats and table runners and tablecloths and all of that. So if you guys aren't aware, Pioneer Woman is a thing, and apparently her linens are as well. Let's see, what did you Fieldcrest, and then that's your sister. What else did you put up there for names? Vintage. Let's go back here. Vintage. This is one way to advertise your Chanel scarves, I guess. That would be a TNA advertisement. Vintage Chanel linens. Yes, there are a lot of linens made by Chanel. And Chanel isn't just about purses and jewelry and clothes and shoes and that kind of stuff, right? This is a handbag. It's really cool. But Chanel also does scarves, and boy, I'm having a hard time here. A lot of vintage scarves that people repurpose. They use them for the scarves, and they repurpose them for things. What I'm trying to think. I was listening. How about Hermes? This is a form of a linen, right? You guys, Hermes linen, Hermes scarves sell for money, money, money. And if you are at an estate sale where the people have scarves, they're going to have a lot of scarves, and you may want to look at them. Are they always marked? Not always. Let's see. This is actually the Hermes site itself, and I think it's Hermes. The H is almost completely. This is brand new. T for 2 scarf, $510. Oh, nice. Good job on the Pioneer Woman. So I'm not really going to go into scarves. I'm not really going to go into them because I listed Kat down below. She has an amazing video. It's a year old. It doesn't matter. It's still very pertinent. So as far as vintage scarves and linens and names, I mean, I can tell you Ralph Lauren, Martha Washington, which is Green and Sons, Peg Thomas, Karl Lagerfeld, and Sansone. But if I could spell this right. Vintage linens from linens. I didn't even spell that right. From Italy. Pretty much anything that's got an Italy mark on it. And here's a Tiffany & Co. That's obviously a scarf. Anything that has a Italy or France on it is probably going to bring you some pretty good money. These are amazing right here. This is, see if it'll focus in, linen cocktail napkins. And this is all needle work. And they have also put another piece of linen on top and embroidered over the top of that. All of these. What are they asking for these? Who knows? I'm not going to go any further into that. Oh, what did I just see? This Vintage linen, cutwork, embroidery tablecloth, 60 by 62, approximately. Italy, fillet lace. And they've got that on there. It looks like they have it on their bed. That's a perfect place to put it. And they put a colored sheet underneath it so that you could see what was there. I'd like to have this to store my linens in. Sorry. Lot of 5 elegant vintage linen damask. Oh, I love damask. Damask feels very much like linen. It is so beautiful. These are table runners. I have seen many people take these and use them for belts and for sashes or for a scarf. It's amazing what you can do with these because they're long enough. But damask is also another, you need to iron or steam it. Damask, you can actually steam it. It'll come out pretty well, but you cannot throw these in the washing machine. If you put these in the washing machine, you're going to wish you were dead. Just saying. I may or may not have experienced that once. All right. Wow. That's beautiful. And it's right there with Irish linen, vintage Lamont Irish linen towel porcelain candlesticks. Was never used. 1681 porcelain candlesticks is the name of it. What else do I have here that we need to oh, all right. Here's a big one. I would be remiss. I'm going to show you this, and then we're going to come back. Vintage chenille bedspreads. I know a lot of you know about this. Some of you may or may not. George the Antique Nomad had one similar, has one. I don't think he sold it yet. His has flamingos on it, though. I almost bought it from him when he was up here. Even if these vintage chenille bedspreads are toasted, pick them up. Wash by hand in woolite. Yep. Pick them up. Even if they're plain like this, it doesn't matter. Somebody will buy this and they will either use it for exactly what it is there. B, they will dye it. I follow a couple people that do tie dyeing. They buy these and you have to think outside the box, right? You got a bedspread. It's got some holes in it. You got towels that are stained. You have tablecloths that are stained. Nobody's going to want to use them for tablecloths. Well, maybe they will. Maybe they won't. Maybe they're going to buy them and repurpose it. Maybe it's a piece of material that's old enough that they can use it to finish their quilt and keep their quilt in the same era. This is amazing. It's a little too much for me, but it's beautiful. Oh, so this vintage bedspreads. Look at chenille and hobnail. I don't think this Bates Mill store. These might be vintage. I don't want to save anything, but thanks for asking. If you've ever had interest in vintage textiles, you may be, hang on a second. I'm going to make this big so that you guys can, those of you that are on smaller. That is amazing. You may be familiar with the term chenille. Chenille bedspreads have been around since the early 20th century, but reached the height of their popularity in the 1950s. Today, vintage chenille spreads are often restored and sold in online stores like eBay and Etsy. Go figure. The popcorn chenille bedspreads. Yep. I have a whole bunch of them. Although some people use the term chenille and hobnail interchangeably, they differ slightly in appearance. Chenilles and hobnails are an evolution of candle wicking, an old embroidery technique. Oh, here we go. We're learning. Used by the American colonists, traditional candle wick designs were created using the yarn for candle wicks. Who would have guessed? This thick cotton thread was stretched onto bed covers in a decorative fashion. In the hobnail or terry weave, large loops of heavy yarn are raised to form the design. The same principle applies to chenille spreads, except the loops are clipped, giving the bedspread a fuzzy caterpillar look. Sometimes you will still see the name candlewick used to describe a hobnail. I wonder which, this one's got to be hobnail. This one's hobnail because see how flat it is, and this is fluffy. When they did these loops in here, then they came through and they cut it all out to make it fluffy. Now, something that the reason why I'm telling you that even if it has holes, I mean, this whole chunk could be chewed off by a dog or something, and it could be white, and I would still pick it up. I would pay $10 for it. Oh, now where did I go? Because if I can find the lady. This lady, right? It might not be this particular lady right here. There's a lady that buys these up and she makes these robes, and she 100% sells them for $300, $400, $500. This somebody probably could have made this robe, or it could have been bought like this. So just because it's not perfect enough to Southern Belle chenille robe designed from shabby cottage style vintage chenille bedspread fabrics. All right, here we go. Check this out. And I kid you not, they buy these old chenille. I'm not too excited about the bonnet thing there. They buy these old chenille blankets and they make robes and stuff out of them. And hi Donna, and they sell them for hundreds of dollars consistently. So just because vintage chenille robe jumpsuit, here's a new one. That does not look comfortable, but there it is. So chenille, 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 chenille. Never pass by a chenille. This gal right here, this is the gal I was talking about. She literally buys up. I read some whole article on her. She buys up all these old chenille blankets and she makes these robes out of them. Look at this one. She may well have done this chenille on here herself, and this could have been just a plain white one. Here's another plain white one. So don't pass by the chenille. If you can pick it up and you can get it for cheap and it's in decent condition, list it and sell it, because it will sell. That's what people do with these older linens. Can people buy them? Wow, what am I seeing here? That's not chenille, but whatever that is, it's gorgeous. And we're going to look at it because why not? It's a robe. That's why it came up. Oh my gosh. All right, enough of that. You're not buying the linens necessarily to resell them as that linen. You sure can. I mean, you can. That's probably what you're going to list it as, right? What I'm mostly, now you guys can really see my mess. What I'm mostly trying to get at is, just because it has a flaw, just because it has a stain, just because it has a tear, just because it has a hole, don't discount it as being not worthy to pick up. And when you go to make your titles and it is something that has a flaw in it, Use a keyword. Repurpose. Can be repurposed. Put that in your description, whatever. If people know that some of these, I did a post on Instagram yesterday. I sold this fishing reel that I've had it listed for over a year. I know what it is. I know what it's worth, and it's listed at what it's worth. And I have had so many guys offer me stupid prices for this thing because there's a picture of me on my eBay store. It clearly shows that I am a female. I don't know if they think I'm stupid, and I don't care. But I would have to say that of all the people, collectors of things out there, these fishermen are the biggest bullies, and I would hate to be stuck in a boat with a bunch of them, or even one. Oh, thank you so much. What are you up to, Missy? Miss Murphy, thank you very much. So don't discount these linens and these old towels. You may find an old towel that is just ratty and gross, and you pick it up and it's all stuck together. You don't want to wash it in your own washer or dryer. Take it to the laundromat. Take it outside, hose it off with the hose, and stick it in a bucket. I don't know. You guys would be amazed. Well, you shouldn't be too amazed now because I've shown you a lot of this stuff. But the items that you think may not be worth anything, there's somebody out there looking for it. As my friend Donatello Bottolino will tell you, somebody is looking for it because they have plans for it and they need it, whether it's a memory, whether it's to have in their own house to use, or whether it's to repurpose for crafts and things that they make and resell. So don't discount the linens. As a matter of fact, 9 times out of 10 in all of the estate sales that I have helped clean up afterwards, there are more linens than there are anything else that go. And it breaks my heart to see that. And I mean, I've done posts on my Instagram taking stuff. I'll take it to the Goodwill when I help. I load stuff up and I'll take it to the bins rather than the Goodwill store. Because when you take stuff to the bins, it goes straight into the bins. At least it does here. That's right. One man's trash is another's treasure. So, same with leather. Same with leather goods, you guys. Leather coats. You may have a leather coat that's got damage on it somewhere. It's leather, fur. Same thing with the older fur coats. Those animals have been dead for years. So I don't go with all of that stuff. It would be horrible to see those things just be gone. There's so much stuff that can be done with leather. You can make a boho chic hippie bag, right? You can make yourself a pair of leather moccasins. There's so much you can do. I made the coolest outfit for my son. It was actually Meatloaf, Eddie from I'm going to spit it out here in a few minutes. He played Eddie in Rocky Horror Picture Show. And I think it was either his junior or senior year. We have there's a big Rocky Horror Picture Show thing that goes on for a month or so in one of the older theaters over in Portland. And so he wanted to dress up like Eddie. So I bought a old leather jacket at the bins, and I cut it up. I removed all the lining. I got new lining, and I made it look. I watched Rocky Horror Picture Show, and I screenshot every chance I could, everything I could find of his vest, and I made that vest look like his. And I got all the jewels and I hand stitched it. So people are looking for these things to make stuff with. Just because it's damaged in our eyes, as in not perfect, that nobody's going to buy this because it's not perfect. That's not true. So don't discount this. Don't walk past these things. Don't buy something because it doesn't have a stain. Do not buy something because that has stains, because somebody or yourself can fix it and use it. Linens are a big thing and they're cheap. Maybe not at the thrift stores. I don't know because I don't hardly ever go to a thrift store. But you can take those bigger flour sack towels and people will make skirts and dresses and jackets and shirts, and you'll have the Lagerfeld. I talked about that in the keyword. Look that up, Lagerfeld. Here, let's look it up real quick. Anything that's flowy. Look. Point made right here. Look at this. What do you think this was made out of? Southern Gothic couture, crochet free size bloomers, pants, trousers, vintage lace, cotton pantaloons, prairie festival, Lagerfeld, one of a kind. These suckers were made out of how many different pairs? How many different pieces of vintage linen? You guys. And what do they want for this? I'm on the wrong screen trying. $265.21. And I know for a fact they'll get it because this Rita No Tiara, she sells, look at this. There you go. You're welcome. This is the kind of stuff. They took all of these old linens, all these old laces, all these old pieces, and they made all of these clothes out of them. And they're Lagerfeld. Look at this. This could have been a tablecloth. These are all old doilies. Do not pass up ready to ship hand printed cotton. Do not pass these things up. Grunge pants, trousers. This is a good store right here for some keywords. Right? That's what people are doing with a lot of this stuff. Etsy is a great place to look at handcrafted stuff because that's what Etsy is about right now. We know there's a lot more stuff on there than just that, but you know, people will take this stuff that's not perfect and they will upcycle it and make these cool items. So don't kill yourself off looking for all these bolos that everybody's showing you and all that stuff. And I know I show bolos too, but I also show you guys the stuff that I sell on the daily. I mean, I'm in the process of, this is my listing station. How many of you guys would have picked something like this up? Sitting on the kitchen in an estate sale on the third day. And I walked right in. It was the first thing I saw and I picked them up. I didn't know exactly what they were, but hello. On the printing, it says, God loves you, smile, love makes the difference, that kind of stuff. But, and they're thin. There's 6 of them. It's just a piece of paper, right? It is a vintage style of stationery made by so-and-so Pratton. I'll tell you in a second. What can I think? And it's called Letters in the Round by Pratt and Austin. And there aren't very many sets of them out there for offer. And this is the only one that has the writing on it like that. And I only have 6 pieces. But I'm going to list these 6 pieces for $24.99. They'll go on sale. I'll sell them for around $18, $19. when you see stuff like this, when I see stuff like this, it's hard for me to not pick it up. Do I need to pick it up? No. Helping clear out end of estate sale on Saturday full of antiques and vintage. Oh, I know. But we only have room to save so much, right? I was at an estate sale a couple weeks ago. I don't remember. And I saw this. Well, it's a plush and it's got a tag. So I looked it up. It is a vintage Snuggles Glow Teddy House of Lloyd stuffed animal. And it glows in the dark. I took it in the bathroom and it glows in the dark. But wait, there's more. There wasn't just one. Oh, man. Now I've done myself in. I'm going to set these over here. They just dumped one. There wasn't just two. There was three. And I got them for $2, all three of them. They sell for about 45 bucks. What's funny is, and I tell you guys this, show the glow. Not one person that has them listed shows them in the dark, shows them glowing. Oh, you only have so much time to get your stuff out, to get the stuff out. So if you have a contract with the family or whoever's in charge, power of attorney, whatever, and you say that you, in your contract, when you're done with the estate sale, everything's goes. It's gone. Because sometimes the family will say, well, we want you to just leave, sell what you can sell and then walk away, and that's it. Those are sometimes the best ones because you can spend a good couple of a day or two, if not, and it can get expensive. So if you can't take it to the thrift stores, and they'll usually, there's usually somebody that comes and gets all the books. They get them free for coming and getting them, all the books, media, and stuff like that. There's lots of people around that will come and get that. And then you will have either somebody that works with the estate sale company that will load up all of the metal, and they will take the metal, and then they separate all the recyclables, anything paper and stuff like that, because it's cheaper to do it that way. And usually when I help, I will box up all the breakables, and I make sure that they go to somewhere. If it just depends on where the sale is, where is it closest to take it. If I have to take it to the Goodwill because that's the only thing nearby, then that's where I take it. If I'm close to one of the Humane Society thrift stores, I will take it there. But it is really sad. So, and the furniture. It's what you did for your daughter's wedding reception, Beetlejuice's outfit. I added fabric. She found a red prom dress and I added ruffles. Oh, I bet that was gorgeous. You should send us some pictures, or put some, maybe you could put some pictures in Jan's Facebook group. We would love to see them. They are so limited when the family doesn't want anything that's left. And it's sad, and it's true. And this is why my personal storage that I had from the farm that I was going to keep for 6 months, and I ended up keeping it for 8, was pretty much just my personal, all of our personal stuff that wouldn't fit in this house that I wasn't sure I wanted to get rid of. And the boys and I went through it. We went through everything. And I told them, you guys take what you want. Take what you want now, because I'm getting rid of this, because I'm not leaving it for you to have to deal with when I'm gone. Because the majority of the stuff in here is for sale. There's very few things like that's mine. It's all mine, obviously. Let's see. Gotta get the right finger. That is not for sale. I have two shelves up here that you guys don't see that have collectibles of mine. There's not a ton of stuff up there, but it's like a few little things, few mementos, and then I have some stuff over here that you see every once in a while, depending on how I have my desk. But yeah, I have I just don't want my kids to have to go through that. I don't want them to have to feel guilty that we got to keep this. I don't want them to have to go through and decide what they want to keep and what they don't want to keep after I'm gone. After you're gone, it's hard enough. They're going through all of that. Don't leave that stuff for your kids to deal with. Start deciding what you really need and what you really don't need. I'm going to be 56 in May, and I don't consider myself old. I'm in the middle time of my life, and because this is what I do for a living, and because I go through people's homes on a regular basis, I don't want to leave that for my kids. So of my personal possessions, I still have 18 boxes out in my shed that have not been opened since I moved here, which the 30th, the 1st of March, April, May, January, the 1st of April will be a year when I actually started living here. So that first week of April, I am going to go through all of those boxes because I am a firm believer. If you don't use it, lose it. Give it to somebody else. I'll make a pile right out here on the corner in front of my house. I have given away so much stuff since I moved in here. It's amazing. And it's never there for, I think I had a cabinet there from the basement that was there for 2 days. And it's funny because I just ignored it. And then one day I was like, oh, it's gone. So that's how it goes. Hey, KK, I love you too. So pass along what you don't need. Ask your kids now, if you're my age, if there's stuff that they really want that maybe you might not be ready to get rid of it. That's what my mom did. Is there anything that any of you guys want? Is there one particular item that I have that you want? Because she wanted to write that down to make sure that in case, whatever. And there's nothing my mom has that I want. Because I don't want it. I want, if everybody else wants it, let them have that. Because I know that when things happen, I'll be the one taking care of her house and getting rid of all the stuff, just because that's what my family will have me do, because that's what I do, right? So it's where it's at. Take care of your kids now. They love you. They want you to be happy. Go take a vacation. It gets easier and easier and easier to downsize and get rid of things if you do it in your head thinking, am I using this? I have stuff that I only use a couple of times a year. It's my canning stuff. I won't get rid of that. But I do use it. So if you have things that you're just holding on, don't forget to ask the grandkids. That's right. One for sure. Like my mom calls every time she's getting rid of something. She had 2 coffee pots she was getting rid of. She called everybody. Does anybody want these? Before I take them to the Goodwill or wherever, who wants it? Who needs one? That's pretty cool. Vacation, right? So, that's all I got to say. Take care of yourself and take care of your kids so that they aren't dealing with all of this. All of us that go to estate sales and stuff, we see it. We'll go through and we'll shake our heads. Walk through your house like you're in an estate sale. And would you shake your head and go, oh my God, what? And it just never stops. I hear that all the time. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? What? So if people would be walking, I was looking in my house. This is the state of my head. I'm sharing it with you guys. I was looking the other day because those, they used to sell them for like putting your VHS tapes on. They're wooden shelves, and they have 1, 2, 3 shelves, and the shelves fold up and they close. And they're just a nice little shelf. You can put them away and open them up. Well, the estate sale companies use them here. Ooh, did you really? Nice. Don't cross your fingers or anything, but I need to send you some more ties. I do have more ties for you. So they take these shelves and they put them on top of the tables, on top of all of them. And that's where they bring all of the stuff out of your cupboards and they display them on there. So I was walking through the house the other day, and I don't have a huge house. It's perfect. I sometimes think I'd like a bigger house, but I know that if I had a bigger house, I'd just have more crap, and I don't need more crap. I need to be this is my office, so this is where my work crap is, but it has gone out I have 5 bags sitting out in the hallway, and those have to go away tomorrow. I've been listening like a crazy fool, so that's the plan. She made a really cool hat out of ties, and she makes all kinds of stuff. She sold 3 extra large heating pads that she sewed. Kathy makes all kinds. If you guys, Kathy makes all kinds of cool stuff out of fabric and all kinds of things. Marie, make memories with your stuff. They will want it. Most of my grandkids are 2 and under, Jan. Anyway, I know you got to do what makes you feel good, but I just think to myself, since I walk through that all the time, I don't want to be that. I can't. I got rid of so much stuff. Ask Jan. Jan doesn't even have an idea. She just knows what I disposed and offloaded from my life while she was here helping me, and made the comment several times that she couldn't believe that I could do that. I don't have an attachment to it other than monetary, and I have a lot of stuff that's been given to me, and I have no problem calling Marie up and saying, hey, I'm headed your way with a carload of stuff, or Marie coming and getting stuff. I have no problem sharing the wealth with anybody that's around me. Unless, now if I have money into it, it makes it a little bit harder. But most of the time when I go to an estate sale, I will list the stuff that's going to get me my money back right away. And the rest of the stuff will follow eventually. So that's the end of this kind of chit-chatting kind of stuff. So that's where I'm at. I have gotten rid of a lot of gardening tools, which, if you know me, that's my passion. I had a landscaping business. I have 1 weed eater left that I have kept. Who knows how long that's gonna stick around for, but I'm making my life easy so that the outside stuff I don't have to do much to. And I am trying to not have so much stuff that my kids will have to deal with the emotional loss, whether happy or sad, when I'm gone, as well as that's hard. It's hard if you have a good relationship or a bad relationship. It doesn't matter. It is hard to walk into that person that brought you into the world's house, that they're no longer there, but everything that there is reminds you of them. Good memories, bad memories, it doesn't matter. Make it easy on your kids. Make it easy. That's all I got to say. I'm 55 and my mom's 80, and my grandma died a couple of days before her 100th birthday. And so, unfortunately, I'm probably going to be here for a little while. Thanks a lot for popping in, KK. Yep. That's what it's all about. Help those who help you. Speaking of that, my neighbors gave me a really nice dolly for you. It's almost exactly like the one you want to borrow. And it's sitting in the backyard waiting for you. You lucky sucker. I forgot to call you and tell you. Anyway, that's how it works, right? Oh, you're not leaving. I go. All right, never mind. She does. You go to your friends that sell here on YouTube. You hate to look up stuff to buy. She does. You are a very big supporter of a lot of people. Speaking of garden, I know I'm so behind. I'm so behind on my YouTube videos for the garden. I will try to get a video out. Let's see, the last one you saw was when I was digging all of the stuff up for the fence, right? Which is done. So, all right, you guys, I'm out of here. Everybody have a wonderful weekend. If you go sourcing this weekend, check out the linens, check out the clothes, find some wool, find something. I know you can. Talk to you later. See you next week for sure. Bye, everyone.